What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And as y'all can see, we got my guy Chris on the screen. Chris, what's good with you, baby?
What's good with you, bro?
Lakers in 7. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we got to go game 7 the whole way through. That's tough, bro. That's tough. I mean, look, that's interesting. That's interesting. Maybe we'll talk about it a little later on. Maybe we'll talk about it a little later on. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. As y'all can see, I got a little smile on my face because we gonna talk about a solid little division. We got the Pacific, you know what I mean? That's where the boys is, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and bring up the division. But we're not gonna start it off though with us. We're gonna be respectful and pay our due diligence to the other teams. I do a little due diligence for the other teams as well. Matter of fact, this is the transition on to the last team, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to talk about the Suns. And I know you don't love that, man, because you said, and I quote, you wanted to talk about the Suns last. Not the Kings, not the Warriors, not our Lakers, nor the Clippers. You said you wanted to talk about the Suns last.
I do.
So you know what? Not Tyronn Lue. He was lying to you about loving your Clippers. Because the Suns, he said, got more precedent, got a little more cachet, got a little more priority than your Clippers. So you know what, Chris, brother, flow is yours. So spotlight. What you want to talk about with your son, with the Suns? I'm gonna give you 30 seconds before I actually go into my take, which is the Suns. Is their depth an issue, or is it actually sufficient? That's what we're going to be talking about. So as long as you don't address that question in your soliloquy, we cool. Oh, well, then, okay. So now my thing is this, since we're going ahead and have this right up here, the depth issues, or actually is it sufficient? Because when we're talking about here the Phoenix Suns, right? It's actually not that bad of a team, Chris. You got KD, you got D Book, you got Bradley Beal. Let's see here. Who else we got? I'm trying to pull up the roster as we speak.
Got Okoku. I mean, you got.
I'm pulling up the roster as we speak.
Oh, okay.
So we got. Actually, no. Let me go to the next season. That was last season. Oh, this internet really want to run slow today. That's so crazy. All right, well, while it's pulling up at least, we got last year's roster, which was campaign. Okay, yay, about daggone time. So we got here Brad Beal, Jordan Goodwin, Devin Booker, Damian Lee. Let's just pull out who I think is going to actually make the roster, right? Boom, boom, boom. I don't know if KD going to make it. He on the fence. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Drew Eubanks obviously had to come up there. Ooh. And then you know what? I like as a bookie. Listen, there was Brad Beal, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you know what? Watanabe was cool. They got enough guard defenders right there, I think. Metu probably straight. Diop, Zai, Wainwright. So essentially, this is what it looked like, Chris. This seemed like what's going to be their team. This is what I would look at. So with that being said, is their depth really an issue? Because I mean, like, the team is all right. We got Brad Beal at the helm. You got D Book. You know what I'm saying? Like these thing 1 and 2. Then you got KD. You got DeAndre Ayton. I mean, if I want another guard, I got Eric Gordon. If I want another forward with some height and length, I can get Bol and put him at the power forward spot. I got Eubanks. He's undersized, but he can play a little backup center for me if I need him to. Like, I can run zone with this team, but most importantly, on the offensive end, I'm going to have at least 2 fringe all-stars on the flow at all times. And Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton. So For you, I say it's actually sufficient talent, and they should be able to get the job done. It'd be nice to have a little bit extra. Like if they had a legitimate point guard, I wouldn't be mad at them. A bigger big, like a bigger rim protecting big, I wouldn't be mad at him. Because Aiton cool. He hasn't shown you enough to say he had defensive presence. So I understand you say you got some trepidation. But I do believe this team is sufficient. And you might see a different Aiton this season too. What's your thoughts on the Sun? And because you said you want to talk about him last, soapbox.
Okay. The Suns. The Suns. The Suns. The Suns. If they could have kept a point guard, I mean, it don't have to be like CP3, whatever. They can just keep like a solid point guard. They can literally come out of the West easily. But when your big two, big three, or big four gets in the foul trouble, who's going to be the next man up? That's why I feel like their bench is not going to hurt them in the regular season, but when you get in the foul troubles in the playoffs, who can you really trust on when it gets thick? And also, you got a brand new coach. So how's the brand new coach and those four players, including two All Stars and two Friends All Stars? How is all of that is going to mix? That's it.
Well, I think all right, so you brought up an interesting point. You said playoffs. Playoffs, it is a different beast, right?
It is.
But I will say in terms of playoffs, rotations kind of shrink as is. So as long as this team, like again, let's bring up the roster. As long as these boys can sit up there and remain healthy, Chris, specifically the six that I said: KD, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Eric Gordon, and Bol. Those six in particular, as long as they healthy, they cool. Because they got the talent, they got the length, they got the skill set, they have the IQ, they have the offensive potency, and they have enough defensive tenacity or defensive capability, in my estimation, to get past most teams. Like when I look at the Nuggets last season. Matter of fact, hold on. Oh my God. Please tell me I still had that up. Yeah. When I had the Nuggets last season, right? Bro, if you look at what their team was in terms of who all played in the playoffs, it was an 8-man rotation, Chris, right? But if you look at how many freaking minutes they played, like, come on now. Like, again, this is the playoffs. That's how much minutes they played. They're 8 deep. So you got 13 and then 17. So they're really running 6 deep. So again, if my boys can sit up here, and when I say my boys, I'm talking about the Suns. Oh my goodness, I just had the roster. Here it goes. So if these boys can sit up there and play this well and remain that or be this talented, be that healthy the way the Nuggets were, I can see that being something shake. And like they also have hustlers on the team, whereas let's say a Josh Okogie, a Damian Lee, right? Like to me, those type of players are those hustlers that they have. So if I'm them, I'm expecting this Sun team to have sufficient talent, sufficient depth, and I'm not gonna give them like, oh, they didn't have the talent, they didn't have the team that they needed. because I think people also forget that that Brooklyn Nets team that KD was on, it didn't really have too much outside of him, Kyrie, some good role players like
Yeah, it
Joe
was.
Harris and Steph Curry and them. Those are good role players.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have similar situations. Eric Gordon, no slouch. Josh Okogie, he does his job. Damian Lee, a quality three-point shooter, also married into the family of Steph Curry, so he probably got some tricks to the trade. You know what I'm saying? Like his at minimum, his wife was probably telling him some stuff Steph and Steph were doing. You know, so like I'm sure he cool. He was shooting in the upper 30s, lower 40s. That's the same team we got over here, and that next team, they were like first or second in the East a couple of times. So this Sun team can be very scary. So I think they have sufficient talent, bro. But it sounds like you said you have question marks, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Understand? I got some trepidations too, but I think they have enough to get over the hump and win that championship this season in particular. So I hear you on the trepidations. I understand you say it's a little lackluster, um, but it's going to be a good season overall for the Suns as long as they're healthy. They should make a deep run into that playoff push, especially with KD. I think this is a big chip year for them, especially with D Book too. They both want it, and Bradley Beal got something to prove too. Plus, Aiton has something to prove as well. I think people will start, saying not a bust, but he not turning out to what you would have wanted. Which you get 19 points, 10 rebounds. That ain't nothing to scoff at either. But he can be a 20-point per game scorer, even a 25. Now's that time to show him. And he's at that year. He's at that 5-year mark, Chris. Which
Mm-hmm.
bigs, they usually take about 5 years to develop. So he's at that 5-6 year mark. So I like this Suns team. I think they got sufficient depth. So we're gonna see how it shakes. But I mean, ladies and gentlemen, that about covers the Western Conference. Um, Chris, I don't know if you got anything else you wanted to add before we close up shop, but I greatly appreciate you, my boy. And as y'all know, y'all definitely see him. Y'all will see him up here again as well. Stay tuned for the Carter albums to drop. We got that coming out of the way. So he got some EPs working on them right now, but we'll have it out coming soon before long. But Chris, do you have anything you want to say for the close up shop?
Once again, bro. Thank you, man. Thank
I
you, bro.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. Lakers in 7 is really aggressive, by the way. I just wanted to reiterate that. That's going to be a really gruesome, tiring playoffs. I'm telling you right now. But I mean, hey, maybe if we win the championship and we do it all in 7 games, maybe Braun retires. I don't know. We'll see how it shakes. But ladies and gentlemen, please like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. Hope you all have a good one. Take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.